everyone, welcome back to The Stamping Dream. I'm so glad you decided to join me today. Today we are going to recreate this card. This is the first one that I made, and I made this with the papers, the designer series papers from Santa's Workshop. I'll show you the papers up close here in a minute, but you can just use your die set, which is right here, to cut these little pieces out, or you can use your stamp set and your die set and cut the pieces out. I'm also going to be using the enamel shapes from the Santa's Workshop. So this one was actually cut from the paper. I think he's so cute. This has got the fluff frocking on it, or whatever you want to call it. So that's one that I made. And then this is another one using the Santa, except this time I colored him in. You can use our stamp sets and squish the top of them, and then when you open them you have some ink here, and you can use your paint brushes or an aqua pen and color them in, or you can use our actual, they're light Copics, and they are our stamping blends. They work out really well also. So either way, if you don't want to color, you can just get the actual paper and cut them out using the dies. So here's the Santa right here that I cut out. You can tell it's the same little Santa. Or, I just love this paper. Look at this. Santa's so cute. Or you can cut out the Mrs. Claus, which this one I actually colored her in and then die cut her out. But you could cut her out, and I have a bunch of these already cut out from one sheet. It pained me to do that because I just love this sheet. But yeah, either way, you can use the designer series paper that way. You just use your little framelits from the Santa signpost, and you would just place it on your paper and cut it out, or you would do the stamp, signs of Santa, and then just cut it out after you color it. Either way, it works really well. So let's get started on this card. The first thing that you're going to need is your base, and that would be 8.5 by 5.5, and you're going to score it at 4.25. And then our first layer is going to be 4 by 5.25, and I use the paper from the designer series set, Santa's Workshop, and this has flocking on it right here. The white is fluffy. I just love it. I think it's so pretty. Just gonna get that centered. There we go. And this one I'm going to turn this way. So I'm going to do this landscape instead of portrait. So these I did portrait. This one I'm going to do landscape. It's still the same principle, except that your banner is going to be a little bit longer. These banners are 1 inch by 4. This banner is 1 inch by 5. And I'm just going to place it kind of like this. So to get my dovetail on the end, I'm going to use our label punch. This label punch is so versatile. So I'm just going to stick it where it's going to do that dovetail for me. And then all I have to do is put it on my card. I would get quite a bit of snail on here, and you might even have to get your tearing tape out because of the frocking. That's the only thing that makes me a little worried. It's a little crooked. Everyone makes mistakes, you guys. As long as you don't push it down super hard at the beginning, and I never do, you can make sure that you have your paper even. There we go. Alright, so now we have this right here. Now we're going to have our square, just like we do on this one. And it's 2 1/4 by 3, but I first want to actually stamp my sentiment on it. And this one is Do Not Open Till Christmas. And it comes from the stamp set right here. do not open until Christmas. I'm going to use my lovely lipstick stamp pad. And I'm just going to put that Mrs. Claus right there so I know where I want to stamp it. Perfect. Now you could do a stamping dimensional on Mrs. Claus, or you can just snail her down. I'm going to snail her because I really want to mail this particular card. So now again, because this has got so much frocking and I want to make sure that this sticks, I'm going to use some tearing tape. Our tearing tape works really good for things like this, or for a box that you might be making. I've made a couple of boxes and I don't know what I would do without our tearing tape for those. So if you want to make sure something's going to stick really well, this is what I would use. You just burnish it down like this. And then I usually try to grab it from the side. It seems to work a little bit easier here. I say that. There we go. You know how it is whenever you're filming. It gets a little different. There we go. So I'm just going to take and put Mrs. Claus right there. Then I'm going to take our little enamel dots, and you could do the bow or you can do the dots. I'm going to do a bow in the center, and then I'm going to take a green dot on either side. This one decided it was going to get stuck to my finger. And just do it on either side. And I think that looks so stinking cute. So there you go. Here's the original one that I colored in. Here's one that I made from just cutting it out from the paper. And then here's Mrs. Claus. Thanks for joining me. Please follow me on dstampingdream.blogspot.com and like and share my videos. I'm also on Facebook. Thanks again and have a great day.